Hello guys, welcome back to Tryon Fitness. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Today we're going to be discussing top 5 myths. Well, my top 5 myths that I've discovered in the fitness community. So what I mean by fitness community, I mean those who are trying to gain weight, stay in shape, just make their life healthier by being fit in any way. First and foremost, let's have my friend Google tell us what a myth is. So, real quick. Okay, so we have it here. A myth is a wildly held but false idea or belief. So it means it's very popular, but it's false. Anyways, without further ado, let's get right into the top 5 myths of the fitness. About fitness in general. To make this video go in a chronological order, we're just going to itemize what we're talking about today. So number 1, the myth about intermittent fasting, myth about cardio, fats as well, myths about genetics, and spot reduction of fat. Alright, so let's start with intermittent fasting. For example, if you intermittent fast, you do not have a caloric restriction for the day. So a little back up, step back so we get an idea of what intermittent fasting is. So intermittent fasting is basically when you have close to 14 hours of a day without food. For example, you wake up at 6 o'clock. Not necessarily when you wake up, depending on when you stop eating generally. So if, for example, you stopped eating last night around 8 o'clock, right? You only eat in the morning the next day, in the afternoon, at 2 o'clock. In a window of at least 4 to 6 hours. Then you eat whatever you want during that time, and then you start fasting again at a certain time in the next day. So the problem with this is most people believe that if, for example, you eat, 10,000 calories during that time, your body, because it's in a fasted state, burns it all off before, which is not true. So regardless of the kind of diet you're using, the laws of thermodynamics still exist. Burn the calories you consume. Those calories don't magically disappear.
Interesting.
Yeah, like that. So calories in, calories out is the generic rule. So even if you're doing intermittent fasting, you gotta keep a close track on your calories so you don't overeat, unless you're not gonna see the progress you're looking for. Granted, for some people it may be easier to do this than others. Personally, it doesn't work for me because I get hungry real quick, and the problem is when you starve your body for such a long time, the ghrelin and the different hormones in your body increases. Those are the hunger hormones, and you feel so hungry, and when you do eat, you tend to excessively eat more than you're supposed to. So I wouldn't recommend intermittent fasting. Number 2, cardio is the most important for weight loss. So this is strictly when considering weight loss. So a lot of people say, okay, I want to get this summer body and stuff, and a lot of fitness influencers out there who may not know what you're talking about may say, okay, I do 3 hours of cardio per day, or I don't know, so lengthened part of cardio to keep this physique and all that. While you do need cardio to some extent, it's not the most important when it comes to weight loss. I see a lot of people in the gym neglecting weight training because they say, oh, I'm losing weight, so I really need to up my cardio, this and this. Yes, you do need to be in a caloric deficit, but the greater portion of the caloric deficit should come from your meal. And if you want to see a video about caloric deficit and how to track your macros, a video will pop up in the suggested section right there. You can go watch one of my videos about that. But the point is, the greatest part, the most important part of your training would be the diet and the training. Of course, the style of training has to go into it. Yes, while you do need some cardio to put you in to help you with that deficit, cardio usually isn't very important until late during your weight loss transformation when you're hitting those plateaus. If you want to see more videos of about how to what happens to your body when you're going through a weight loss transformation, why people lose weight real fast during the first part of the of their weight loss journey, and then later on they hit a plateau, and how to get around these obstacles, please subscribe for more. I have a video about that coming in very soon. Okay, now number 3, fats are bad. So a lot of people think, oh, because I shouldn't eat fats, but this should be totally out of my diet. While you should reduce how much fat you're eating. If, for example, I do take a lot of protein or a lot of carbs, and I do not and I still exceed the caloric limit of what I'm burning, I will still store them as fat. It doesn't matter as well, because I'm still in a caloric surplus. It doesn't matter if it's about fat, if it's about carbs, or if it's about protein that we're talking about here. So calories are calories, no matter where you're getting them from. Yeah, you just need to. The only reason you reduce fat is because they contain a lot of calories, and because of reducing the amount of fat, you really drop your calories by a lot, and you're able to eat more, yes, and you're also able to manage your diet much more efficiently. And of course, you want to make the fats more of your healthy fats, not the bad fats. All right, so there are lots of functions of fats, and they are very important in the body, especially for vitamin synthesis of the fat soluble vitamins. That's your A, D, E, and K. So if you cut fats from your diet, you'd have serious deficiencies. Okay, now number 4, genetics. So this is the holy grail of bodybuilding, or holy grail of fitness. So if you see someone that looks really good, it's the popular assumption is that they've got good genetics for this or good genetics for that. Now, while that is right, genetics does play a very important role in the way we look, in the way our muscles are inserted, and how they originate. We kind of give it a little too much leeway in determining our fitness regime or determining our motivations. So, for example, you say I want to lose weight. Now you say, oh, because being fat runs in my family, it's going to be very difficult for me to lose weight. Yes, it is going to be very difficult for you to lose weight. It will be more difficult than the average person or someone with better genetics for not keep storing body fat. But usually the difficulty people are talking about is more or less the mental difficulty for them. They do not overcome the mental barrier of really pushing themselves to the limit. They think they are putting in work, but they're either doing it wrong, for example, just doing lots of cardio, not really weightlifting, and there's a lot of things wrong with their plan generally, or they are just not putting in enough effort as it is before considering genetic part. Yes, genetics can limit your potential or your achievements sometimes, but you need to actually realize the genetic potential before you say, oh, I'm blaming my genetics for it. Okay, now the last but not the least, which is the most important, which is the most widespread, spot reduction of fat. So people say, oh, I want to lose this in my belly and stuff and that, a lot of handles, and I lose some arm fat. Oh, God, flexing, yeah. This is not possible at all. Spot reduction of fat is simply not possible. You cannot work a certain muscle. There was a study that was shown, and I'll try to pop it up on the screen somewhere there, where 2 groups were working their abs for like a certain number of time, and after they checked to see if they've lost fat at a specific region of the body, which is the abdominal region here. Yes, the group who were not doing anything and the group who were doing something, there was no difference when it comes to the amount of fat that was in that area, but they got stronger because they had progressive overload by just doing it over and over and over again for weeks. Yes, you get stronger in that body part when you keep working it, of course, right? But it won't necessarily reduce the fat. The fat will still cover the muscles under it. To really get rid of fat, and especially getting rid of that little part, if you're already ripped and you, for example, just have love handles and just certain fat in certain areas, diet will be the key to getting rid of that body fat. So you have questions about, body fat and how to plan a diet program, so hit me up. My socials on my channel somewhere, or they'll be in the description down below. So I'm hoping for 2 questions and all that. Alright, so that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you liked it, leave a like, subscribe. Let's get me to 100. I need 9 more subscribers to get to 100. Come on, come on, come on. Alright, anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.